Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to use Microsoft Word 2007 to design a certificate. To design the certificate, we have to format the page first. So let's go to Page Layout, and this Page Layout tab gives us options that we can change the appearance of the page. So we want to change the orientation of the page from portrait to landscape. So click on Orientation and select Landscape. So this has changed the page orientation from portrait to landscape. Now to change the border of the page, we go to the page background group and select page borders. Page borders gives us the option to give border to our page. So we have here the style. We can use a line as a border and change the color of that line. We can increase the width of that line, or we can use an artistic border. Because we are designing a certificate, we are going to use an artistic border. So let's select the art and scroll through the options to choose the border of our choice. So we scroll through the options and choose a border that we want to use for the certificate. Remember that when you select any border, you have here the preview. The preview displays how the border will look like on the paper. So if you don't like it, you can change it by selecting a different border. So we have a lot of borders that you can choose from, and you have to use the preview to choose the one that suits your work. So you can choose a very nice border for your certificate. So let's choose one of these borders that we want to use for the certificate. So after choosing your border, you click on OK, and this will display the border on the screen. So let me choose one of these borders, and then we move to the screen. And let's select this border for example, and then we click on OK. You see that the border that I chose has been applied to the page. So we can now change the page background to suit the certificate we are designing. So we go to page color, and this will help us to change the background color. There are a lot of colors that we can choose from, or we can go to fill effect to select a gradient or a texture or a pattern or a picture for our background. So for this tutorial, you can select two color from the gradient. Two color means we can mix two colors. So I can select a color like red and mix it with white, and this will give us the design that we can apply to the page. So we have vertical design, diagonal up, diagonal down, and we can continue mixing colors until we get the one we want to use for our certificate. Or we can come to the texture group and select a pre-designed texture for our background. Or we can come to the patterns group and select a pattern. Patterns are usually used to shade objects. So since it's a certificate, I will not advise that you use a pattern. Then you can also import a picture that you will use as your background. So let's go to the gradient, and in the gradient group, we can choose the color we want to use for our certificate. So I'm going to mix blue and white, select diagonal up, and then select the first option. When you click OK, it will apply to the certificate. Now that we have changed the background color, we are now going to enter the text for the certificate. So let's say, for example, this certificate is given by the Institute of Technology. So let's type Institute of Technology. Now the font size and font style can be changed. We do this by highlighting the font and then go to the Home tab, and then we can increase the font size from the font size group. Let's choose 48. Then we can change the font style. I'm going to use a font style called Old English font. Usually that is the font that is used for certificates. So we scroll down to that font, which is Old English font, and that will be applied to our heading. Then we can now center the heading. Centering means we are moving the text to the center of the page. So we highlight the text and then go to the paragraph group and select center. We click on center and to move the heading to the center of our certificate. If you are not satisfied with the color, we can change the color that we want to use. So I'm going to select deep blue for this one. And then we can also increase the font size if you are not satisfied. Okay, so from 48, if I want to make the font size to 60, I can click in here and type 60 on the keyboard and press enter. That will apply to the font size. Now that we have typed the text, let us insert the logo for the institute. So we press enter and we are going to insert the logo here. Since we don't have the logo, we are going to use a clip art to be the logo. So let's go to insert tab and then look for clip art in the illustration group. So insert, then select clip art. Now this clip art pane will appear. When it appears, we can search for a specific clip art that we want, or we can click on go so that we'll get all the clip art installed on the computer. So these are the clip art installed on the computer. So we can scroll through the options and select a clip art that we can use for our logo. So we can scroll through. Let's use this one as our logo. So when we click on it, it will appear on the sheet. So we have used this clip art as our logo. Remember that when you insert a clip art, we can change the text wrapping. The text wrapping will determine how the clip art will behave with text. And also we can change the size by reducing or moving the edges, and we can also rotate it. So let's reduce the size a little, and then that will become the logo of the institute. Now let's type the content of the certificate. Let's press enter. To type the content, we change the font style from the Old English to Times New Roman, and then let's reduce the font size to say 24. Now let's type the content. Okay, so now that we have entered the content of the certificate, we can edit it. To edit the content, I am going to make the award stand out. So I'm going to highlight the award and then change the font style to the Old English. And then the course to, I'm going to change the font style to Old English. And then the name, I'm also going to change the name to a different font so that it will stand out. So we can select font for the name. So we can scroll through and select a different font for the name. So the technology has been spelled wrong. That is why we have a red underline. So we can right click it and select the correct spelling. Okay, so having typed the certificate, it is left with the signatories. So we click enter and then type the signatories. So the first one is going to be the director. So after we have typed the director, we can align it to the right. So we click on the right or left align. When you click on right align, it will move it to the right. When we click on left align, it will move to the left. Then we have to press the tab key to move the cursor to the other side of the certificate. And then let's type the registrar. Okay, now we press enter key and we are going to leave a space for signature. So we click the dot on the keyboard, we press the dot on the keyboard to leave a space for signature. We press the tab key and press dot to leave a space for the signature. Let's correct the spelling for the registrar. Okay, so there we have it. We can zoom out to see the certificate we have created. So we have successfully created a certificate using the tools in Microsoft Word 2007. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.